Welcome to episode number 14 of the This Week in SCC Sports Podcast. I'm your host, the voice of the Saints, Brandon Karam, SCC Class of 2020. We have a lot of news this week, especially concerning the boys basketball program and the bowling program. So let's get right into it. Monday, February 11th, yesterday, the bowling team won its first sectional title in school history down in Boulevard Bowl in Schenectady. The bowling team, they came in probably not as the overall number one favorite. I'd have to say that was Hoosick Falls. And after coming in third place in the morning session, so the way it works is you bowl 6 games, 3 in the morning, 3 afternoon. You have 5 bowlers that bowl all 6 games. You take the combined scores of all your bowlers. Whoever has the most pins at the end wins. So at the end of the first 3 games in the morning, the team sat in third place and down by about 130 pins to Hoosick Falls, who was in first. And then it had a massive afternoon, come all the way back and win sectionals by about 140 pins, beating Canajahari, who got second place. But just an overall phenomenal performance by the team. Michaela Barble, her average yesterday for the 6 games was 196.5. Timmy Barrett, 195.8 average, and he had a tournament high of 279. So just a crazy game from him. That was in Game 5. And then Zach Niles was our third best bowler yesterday with a 190.5 average over the 6 games. So a spectacular end to another phenomenal bowling season. In the league championship, the team got they got third place. And so to be able to come and win sectionals, just a huge accomplishment by the team. First sectional title in school history for bowling. Coach Lambert's done a phenomenal job with this program the last 4 years. I can't give him enough credit. And bowling team, they are returning quite a few players next year. Michaela Barble will be back. LJ LaFiora will be back. Hayden Day will be back. That's 3 of the players who bowled yesterday. So they could still be in contention for sectionals next year. We'll see as bowling season comes around next year. The boys basketball team. Let's get into JV first. They finished their season at 20-0 with a win over Stillwater Friday night. Just an absolutely... I really can't put into words how proud I am of this JV boys team to go undefeated the whole year, facing Western League competition, which isn't easy by any standards. And it's just unbelievable what Brett Simpson did with the team. Some notable stats to end the year. Anthony Barilli, 16.1 points per game. Hayden Day, 14.9 points per game. And he also had 13.3 rebounds per game. These 2 players really put this JV team on another level. But you also have to mention Robbie Bolin, Aiden Lambert, Ryan Condry, Cameron Corey. Really, everyone who played on the JV team this year had some sort of positive impact. And you can't say that about most teams. So after the JV game, after the boys finished 20-0, Coach Brett Simpson, was named head coach for the 2019-2020 season of the varsity boys program. Now, we did an interview with Coach Simpson, episode 11 of this podcast. If you haven't heard it, go back and listen. It's really his coaching philosophy, so you'll be able to really find out what will be coming to lead the program next year. Coach John Catone, this was just an interim job that he accepted, and he had told Coach Lambert and other school officials that he was just going to stay for 1 year. And when you really think about it, I'm going to get into this in a little bit, but when you really think about it, he didn't do bad this year, Coach Catone, with the talent that he did possess. So, Coach Simpson, head coach for next year's basketball season. JV head coaching job still vacant when we get that news, we will report who the JV coach will be for next year. On to the varsity side of things. The boys varsity team lost to Stillwater Friday night, finishing their regular season at 6-14 overall and 3-11 in the Washburn League. I expected maybe a little better play in the Washburn League from our guys. There's a couple losses that really sting, such as Stillwater at home the first time. Corinth, even though that was in the non-league, that's really a loss you can't have. Cambridge away, I was really surprised that we lost that. But overall, solid, I shouldn't say solid, but it was an okay regular season when you really look at what we have. Not a lot of experience really, or I should say varsity experience from the seniors. Someone like Joe Cumlander, who didn't have a lot of minutes last year, now as a senior is expected to be able to play, 20, 25 minutes a game. Same with Jake Welcome. He didn't have a lot of playing time last year. So when you look at something like that, you really see that Coach Catone really didn't have a lot. But to go 6-14, it's okay. The sectional seeding meeting is tomorrow. In basketball, all of the teams make sectionals. So we'll see what we get as our seed. I'm thinking my projection between a 14 and 16 seed, that would be a home play-in game. That's really all I have to say on the varsity boys. Next podcast will be the results from that sectional game, so we'll delve deep into that. On to girls basketball. They finished the regular season 3-15. Once again, lack of inexperience by the girls. Coach Stacy did a fine job with what he had. Only one senior on the team, but I expect next year the team to be very, very good. You look at who you're returning. Grace O'Reilly, Molly O'Reilly, Lauren Mayer, Riley O'Connell. Then from the JV team, you bring up Meg Cornell, maybe even Kara Wenger. Also on the varsity team, two people I forgot to mention, Ashley Upson, Katie Cronin. Two starters who are only freshmen. Having only one senior on this team really hurt the girls this year. Next year they're going to have three with Lauren Mayer, Lauren Mayer, Grace O'Reilly, Rhea Walsh, and Faith McKenna. So they have four seniors on the team next year, four experienced seniors who really aren't that bad of basketball players. They'll have another year under their belt. I think we're going to be pretty good next year, to be honest. Even though you look at the 3-15 record this year, I think that they'll be just fine. My projection for the girls basketball seeding between a 19 and a 22 seed, that would be a road play-in game. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about the girls varsity team. Girls JV team, though, if I might add, they finished the season 10-10. Coach Massey did an awesome job with that team this year. Washburn League is a very tough girls basketball league, and I think Coach Massey did a very, very good job with the team. So on next episode of the podcast, no promises, but I'm trying to set up a bowling team interview as they just won sectionals, and I feel it's only right that the fans of this podcast get to hear their thoughts on their season. Want to hear Coach Lambert's thoughts, and I think that's only fair if we have an interview with them. So I'll work on setting that up, and hopefully episode 15 will be an interview with the bowling team and then some sectional results from both boys and girls basketball. But for the meantime, that's the end of this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Karam, and I will see you on YouTube, so stay tuned.
We built this city. We built this city.